So all work first goes through our internal jury, and then, and what we're looking for is original work. We do not want work which is derivative, which seems to be copying someone else's work. We are looking for a consistent body of work. We want to know that something that is being shown isn't a one-off that someone just accidentally made, but that in fact that they have the ability to continue to create quality work. It's another evidence of their professionalism. We're looking for the quality of workmanship. If we can't, since all work is reviewed online, electronically, if we can't tell from the photography, then we have samples sent in to us and we will review them in person. We are looking to see if the work is saleable, and there are a number of different aspects of saleability. It can be the prices, it can be compared to other work, it can be the photography. The photography that artists submit is critical, and if the quality of the photography isn't good enough, we know that the piece will not sell from it. And then has the artist explained what the work is? If it's not explainable, if it's not clear to someone through looking at it or talking about it, how can we possibly sell it to someone? We also review some work through the artist's resume. Again, as we're trying to make sure that this is a qualified, quality, professional artist, it helps sometimes if we have questions to understand where has their work been shown. So all of that goes into our internal jury. Once we determine internally that we think someone's work is saleable, that they're at the right level for the company, then we send on the images electronically to Michael Monroe, who I mentioned earlier. And there's Michael with Hillary when she was a little bit younger. During the Clinton years, Michael put together a wonderful exhibit of craft in the White House. He helped develop a collection at the White House, and so there they were then. And he is an absolute charmer. If you ever have an opportunity to see him speaking somewhere, go. He is hysterical, delightful, and nobody that I know knows the world of craft better than Michael Monroe. And then this is what it looks like if you are, if you're an artist and you've gone to the button on our homepage that says "Sell your artwork on Artful Home." This is where you're taken to, and it's really quite straightforward. It gives you an idea of everything you have to do, what it does for you, what the process is. And time and again, artists will say to me when I meet them, "Oh, I'm really not very comfortable online. Oh, I don't do that. Oh, I don't know how to upload images. Oh, I'm going to need my 13-year-old to help me." I mean, this happens over and over again, and inevitably, most of them, and I'm very comfortable saying 95%, 98% of that 900 find that it's really actually quite an easy system. So we'll walk you through it on the site. We have very comfortable and are dedicated to walking artists through first the application process, and then once they're accepted, the uploading. So I'll talk a little bit more about this. But I did purposely have the opening slide that says we are the largest dominant player online, and yet we're just this $9 or $10 million company. So key competitors, it's a fragmented market. There's no doubt about it. So our competitors vary. Our competitors can be art fairs like the American Craft Council fairs, or regional and national shows. Our competitors are brick and mortar galleries, many of whom hate us because they believe that customers come and see work in their galleries, go online, Google the artist's name, and then come buy from us. We believe that there is it's much more of a mutual admiration world and a mutually beneficial world. And I have relationships with many owners of many galleries who don't hate us. So this changing world of competition, in the world of craft in particular, it's important that none of us be enemies. It's too small and too important a world for there to be that sort of infighting. There are many sites that are trying to explore the space that we're in. There are sites that have done an absolutely horrific job of copying us identically and have gone out of business. There are many who have done things that we haven't possibly been able to do that we admire, who are competitors. Etsy is, the E word to us, is a competitor in a way, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. And then there are many other places. And then home decor businesses, and these are some local meaning American businesses. Gumps is a San Francisco-based one, Design Within Reach, all try to reach this art-loving customer as well. Artists who work with us have unique characteristics in that many of them tend to be production or limited production artists. We sell both one-of-a-kind and production work. It's pretty hard to publish a catalog with one-of-a-kind work. Someone buys it and then there's nothing else for the next person who's interested. So we do carry the work by many artists who are production-oriented. Okay, and there are some of the statistics. So right now we have over 13,000 items on the site. That number does vary. We just put up 1,000 new pieces within the last month. Artists, as I said, can take work up, put work up, can take work down, so it is a fluctuating number. And the average number of items that any one artist has tends to be 14, 15. But marketing is what we are all about. It's what we do, it's why we exist. Why would an artist who can sell their work at a price and get full commission on it, not have to pay a commission to us, sell through Artful Home? The reason is our marketing. We have the ability to reach customers that an individual artist usually does not have the chance to do. We do it through catalog. We will have put out this year, I believe it's 1.75 million catalogs will be in print. We do it through email. We have an email list of about 80,000 names right now. We spend a good deal of money on paid search, whether it's buying every single artist's name or many other branded terms that people are searching for. We have dedicated an extraordinary amount of time to optimizing our site for natural search, and natural search is an ever-growing source of orders. We are engaged in the world of social media, whether it's through our Facebook page and constant monitoring of that, my blog, the blog on the site, tweeting. It's just part of what we have to do and do. We recently engaged a public relations firm to help grow our awareness. And we do no traditional advertising, but marketing through all of these different channels, because not just one area will do it at this point. So, oops, there we go. 1.5 million. Sorry, I was looking at our circulation plan for next year, which is going up by almost another million. A typical catalog is about 72 pages, and there are some copies here. And we put out almost one a month. It's not 12 distinct catalogs a year. It's more like 5 or 6 distinct ones with remails. And what the catalog does is it brings a sense of touch to the consumer, and often places a piece in an environment. So the catalog is filled with images, some of which are images provided by artists, and some of which are ones that we take. And when you look through a catalog, you'll see there are several room environments, and we go through that. We create the photo shoots, we find locations, work with artists, ship the samples in, all of that. The catalog has a limited scope. It's 72 pages, and 72 very expensive pages. So whereas any one catalog has 300 to 400 items in it, we have 13,000 items on the site. So it really acts as a preview to the online store. And artists will often say, well, I don't really want to be involved with Artful Home unless I can be in the catalog, which is an understandable response, because of course the catalog does a good job of selling the pieces that are in the catalog, but we find that 40% of the sales that are attributed to people who receive a catalog are for items that are not in the catalog. The catalog acts as a gateway to the website. So someone sees it, they see an item, they may be interested, they may look for more items by that artist, or they may simply start browsing on the site. So being in the catalog is not the only reason to be involved with Artful Home. It's a good one, but it's not the only one. And what's really interesting is that we often sell work online that's brand new, that's never appeared in the catalog, because customers are so comfortable shopping online now and shop for what's new first, that we can get a sense of what might be a good catalog item just by putting it online first. So I've given you some, you'll see some images, mostly of covers of catalogs. You'll have to pick up some of the printed copies to see what the pages were like. I didn't like the way they looked in a PowerPoint presentation. This is a catalog that will be out in October. So the remail of our fall catalog, these glass pumpkins by the Cone Stones, are a perennial seller, and these are new ones for 2010. But I said that jewelry and glass and furniture are really the big three categories for us. So this was a holiday catalog a couple of years ago. We try to make sure that our catalog covers not only show a piece, but show sort of the splendor of the work, because the catalog cover has a big job. Its competition is with the recycling bin. So when somebody receives one in the mail, the decision of do I look at it or do I toss it is what happens. And so we believe that we have the responsibility to be as artful in our presentation of the catalog, and starting first with the cover, as our artists are with the work. So different representations of glass. We also send out a lot of emails, we have this group of about 80,000 customers who have said that they want to receive emails. Nobody gets one that, we don't do any spam marketing. And the frequency with which we send them out varies based on the time of year. When it gets to be the holiday season, it can be as frequently as 4 and sometimes even 5 times a week, but generally it's twice a week, sometimes only once a week. We don't do that 4 or 5 thing. I'll show you why we did that in case that seems shocking. This first email is one that I showed at the conference that Emma and I were both at, and I put this one up here for a number of different reasons. We have, as Artful Home, different from Etsy, not only do we jury the work, but we curate it, and I haven't spoken about that much until right now. What that means is that we take very seriously the responsibility of presenting the work in different intriguing ways. Just as a gallery will present a different show every month, just as a store might set up shop windows that are meant to bring you in, we have the opportunity, particularly with emails, and particularly with our website, but with the frequency of emails, to curate work. And the word curate is way overused these days. When my daughter talks about curating her shoes, I've got to object to that use. But anyway, we get to curate an email and really focus. When you have 13,000 items on the site, it's important, we believe, to help focus the consumer, to sort of give them a gateway into the site. We can also do it with topical relevancy. We don't have to plan our emails months in advance. We don't have to book anything months or years in advance. So this email was one that we put out the week that the Beatles' White Album was being re-released. And that was going on, and I said, okay, I'm going to curate a white show, just sort of in honor of that. And this was, I believe I did this on a Sunday, and the email went out on Tuesday, and the album came out Tuesday or Wednesday. And that's something that you can do, and it got a great deal of response for 2 reasons. One, the White Album may have been on people's mind. It made it seem like the work was more relevant, and it was a way to focus consumers on some work that they may have never found on the site. Because with 13,000 items, how do you find something? That's one of the questions we hear from artists. Are customers ever going to find my work? Or another way that we invited consumers in to take a look at us was just speaking about what color are you. It turns out that this glass artist, Rhoda Bear, is actually also a fantastic and well-known photographer. And she had done a whole series of photographs with her glass and with people. And I thought, okay, let's use her photography and play into that as well, and speak about color. Color is one gateway into the work. Or this is an email that we sent out when Alice in Wonderland was released in the US. We sell and feature a lot of work that's rather fanciful. The Wavy Cabinet is an iconic piece for us that has David Coderre's work has been represented by us since the beginning of Guild.com. And so we thought, what if we put together sort of this fantastical world like Alice in Wonderland? So email gives us that ability to be timely, to be relevant, sometimes to be a little cheeky, but we're always trying to be respectful of our customer by not putting out too many emails, not spamming them, and making it worth it for them to open it. The subject line of the email has to make it worth it, has to make it enticing enough that someone wants to open the email, and then once they do, it has to be worth their time.